birthday, Ronald Reagan. Welcome, one and all, to another presidential birthday toast here at the K.O.E. Nation as we raise our glass to the 40th president of these United States, one Ronald Reagan. Folks, we are going to raise our glass to President Reagan with something that's very appropriate. A California red wine. He was the governor of California before he became president of these United States. He was also a well-known actor in movies like Bedtime for Bonzo. He was actually fairly high up in the Screen Actors Guild. He was kind of all over the place in terms of life accomplishments and things he had done. By the time he ascended to the presidency, he was already a household name. He left office one of the more popular modern day presidents, and the way that you can measure that is he was actually able to install his vice president in for one term. A lot more rare than you'd think, and it generally doesn't happen right afterwards, even in the modern era. So I thought it would be appropriate to raise California Pinot Noir to a California governor and president of these United States. But I thought it'd be appropriate to, like always, huge source, Mint Juleps with Teddy Roosevelt, The Complete History of Presidential Drinking by Mark Will Weber. A great book. I really can't recommend this highly enough. And I'm just going to get into this one part that Reagan resisted any attempt to get into a makeup room. Odd, considering he was an actor. To give Reagan a bit of color in his otherwise ghostly pale face, a glass of red wine would be set there. And they knew he really couldn't resist a good French red or a good California vintage. So literally his, I believe the assistant's name was Deaver, would actually set out just about a glass like that of red wine with the bottle next to it. And he knew that Reagan knew the different vintages from California. So you go, oh, hey, you got a bottle of that? Okay, well, I guess I'll have just a little. And it would actually help add color to his cheeks, which, whenever you're going to be on camera, you need to make sure that you got proper color, especially if you're going out in front of the entire nation. So I found it fascinating that in the history of presidential drinking, President Reagan actually used red wine as a way of improving his appearance for certain occasions. If you're going to talk about presidential drinking, you kind of have to include that, don't you? He was also known for something called the Orange Blossom Special. He very rarely drank beer, even for photo ops. He would take a few sips of a beer in an Irish pub or a Union pub. And then once the photo was taken, he generally wouldn't finish his beer. But he really did like the Orange Blossom Special, which consisted of 1 ounce, or slightly less in Reagan's case, of vodka, 1 ounce of either grenadine or sweet vermouth, 2 ounces of fresh orange juice, all brought together in a barroom glass filled with ice. So that just sounds fairly refreshing, like it's a bit sweeter vodka screwdriver with a little bit less vodka. I could see President Reagan was known for being very even-tempered, and I don't think him getting all that drunk would be something anybody ever saw in the White House. And also, before we get into the toast, I did want to bring up this one. Tip O'Neill. Thomas Tip O'Neill referred to, they were not fond of each other, Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill. And the two men could often talk out issues over an afternoon drink. Tip certainly held the superior credentials when it came to hoisting a few, and did his more serious imbibing with Ted Kennedy. So that's actually an interesting. So Tip O'Neill, a true heavyweight of Washington, D.C. drinking, apparently. And I just wanted to bring up, it goes deeper. The frenemies did not seem too far-fetched when discussing Tip O'Neill and Ronnie. They had champagne toasts on occasion, and this is one of the more one of the more interesting quotes of Reagan's time as presidency. Um, Reagan invited Tip O'Neill to the White House for the speaker's 69th birthday and broke out some celebratory champagne to toast the occasion. The chief executive then burst forth with the old Irish proverb worthy of the fine wine. Lifting his glass to the Democratic warhorse, President Reagan proclaimed, "Tip, if I had a ticket to heaven and you didn't have one, I would give mine away and go to hell with you." Oh, those were good little sideways compliments. Apparently, the toast brought tears to Tip O'Neill's eyes, which that's just fascinating. That in that era, even as adversarial as they were able to get along in those ways. Might be something we should try to hearken back to, folks. But on this birthday of one President Reagan, we all raise our glass, whatever you may have. In this instance, a California red wine. We raise our glass to the 40th President of these United States, Ronald Reagan. Happy birthday, Mr. President. So, folks, join us because there's a lot more to come. More presidential toast series are to come. We've got President Harrison coming up. We've got President Lincoln. We've got President Washington coming up. We got some heavy hitters, folks. So definitely join us for that. But today is Ronald Reagan's day. So, folks, raise your glass one more time to President Reagan. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Thank you for joining us, and I'll catch you around, folks.